Good afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome from the Broadfield Stadium. Happy Easter. It's Good Friday. Crawley will be looking to make it a very good Friday come 5 o'clock this afternoon as they entertain Doncaster Rovers here in about an hour and a half time, 3 o'clock kickoff in Sky Bet League 2 action. Tony Vesey unavailable for today's preview, but I'm delighted to be joined by Mark Dunford, who comes in to join me now from Sussex World and from the Crawley Observer. Good afternoon to you,
thanks
Mark.
for having me, Gary.
That's all right, thank you for coming in. We'll talk about today's game and we'll preview that in just a little bit. Let's first of all focus on that incredible game at Tranmere Rovers last week, and once again Crawley sort of defying the odds just a little bit, because came from behind to win here against Notts County a few games ago, came from behind to grab a point against Stockport County. Lightning start last week, and Tranmere is always a tough place to go. So do you feel that was really a sort of a marker of Crawley's realistic playoff credentials?
I think it really is, yeah. I mean, I predicted a draw of that game. I predicted all the last 9 games or whatever. And that was, I thought, yeah, a draw there. A draw would be a really good result. A win is an incredible result. And I think it just shows the confidence they've got, the form they're in. And yeah, now they're in those playoffs. They're going to stay there, I reckon. And I'll probably get on to predictions later in that. But they are the form team in League 2, and I don't think any team will want to be playing them at the moment.
An absolute lightning start as well at Tranmere last week. 2 goals up in the first 10 minutes, I think took certainly us by surprise in the commentary box. Because like you were saying earlier on to me, Crawley haven't made a start like that. And we said before the game last week, very important to try and keep the home fans and the home players quiet, because Tranmere is always a tough place to go, very loud partisan crowd behind them. But I don't think anybody would have dreamt of being 2-0 up. And I think also as well, great that Jeremy Kelly got his first goal for Crawley, and Jay Williams also getting his first goal of the season too. So the goals are also starting to be spread sort of around the team.
Yeah, that's really important, because in the past they've always had those 1 or 2 players they've relied on goals from. But this season it's come from everywhere. I don't know how many players have actually scored this year, but to get them that early, like you said, they haven't done that this year. There was I think it was it Notts County where Lolos had a chance after like a minute, I think it was, Gordon crossed it in. But they just haven't seemed to take those chances. You see some quite clever kickoffs at times where you think, oh, they're going to get there. There's one at Sutton in the FL Trophy, wasn't there, where Lolos lobbed it over.
Yeah.
So, that was really important, and I think it's got to be looking for the same today, just kill off the challenge early from an informed Doncaster side. I
was going to say, when you look at the challenge that they faced today, when you look at the last 8 games, Crawley are top of the form table, Doncaster are second. So they will also come into this one thinking that they can get something from it and maybe sort of halt that playoff charge, because it's, yes, Crawley are in there at the moment, but it's still very tight, isn't it? I think 5 points only separating where Crawley are down to about 13th, 14th in the table.
Yeah, and Doncaster, I mean, you look at the table as well, you look at the form table and you think they've only lost 1 in 10, they're 19th. That's how tight it is, kind of thing. So they'll come here with some confidence, but I can't see them getting anything, but a point for them would be a really good result. But it would be quite a poor result for Crawley. I think they've got to win today, considering the games they've got coming.
Well, I was just going to mention as well, after today, Crawley go into 3 very tough away games. Newport is always a tough place to go on Monday, and then it's 2 huge games, away at the league leaders Mansfield on the Saturday, the 6th of April, and then away to Wrexham on the Tuesday night. Do you feel that after that game, if Crawley is still in the mix of the playoffs, that's a real indication of whether they're going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. It's such a tough run. It's a shame they haven't got that break-up of home away. It's just like today and then 3 really, really tough away games. If they can win today, it kind of anything they get in the next 3 games, I think, is a really good result. I mean, nobody's expecting anything from Mansfield or Wrexham, I don't think. I mean, I wasn't impressed with Wrexham at all when they were here.
No.
So I really think they can get something there. I think they can get something in Newport. Mansfield is the one where you think, but Mansfield, they've dropped points. They lost to Tranmere, didn't they, recently? They dropped points against Colchester last week. So I mean, you speak to Scott. I speak to him every Thursday at the press conference, and just a confidence oozing from him. And like he said, now it's got to the point where he was trying to bring the players up to his belief, and now he's trying to bring them down to his belief, kind of thing. So. Yeah, I think if they can get 5, 6 points from the next 4 games, I think that'll be a really good result, and it will cement there. They don't want to be going into those last 3 or 4 games having to win them all.
No. So, still making up ground to get back into the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So because every team they play in those last few games will have something to play for. I think. Even though they're in the lower half.
The same sort of thing as Crawley were playing for towards the end of last season.
Yes.
Trying to ensure survival and things like that. So it's nice this season that there's some jeopardy in the final few games, like there was last season.
Yeah.
But it's the polar opposite this time around, trying to grab those points to stay in the playoffs. And talking about today as well, Mark, the incentive that the club have run. This is the first game of 2 for £22.
Yeah.
And it's going to be absolutely rammed in terms of the home fans. I think I've heard somebody say it's going to be the biggest home attendance that Crawley will have had since being a Football League side,
wow.
which is fantastic. Yeah. The incentive is great, but the expectation levels, because of what they've been doing, are certainly going to go through the roof, aren't they, this afternoon?
Oh, they really are, yeah. I mean, I read all the fans' forums and everything, and it is like, we're in the playoffs now, we're going to stay here, we're going to get promoted, blah, 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 and it is just trying to manage that expectation, but it's got to be an amazing atmosphere here today. And I with the team that Scott's put together, we've talked about it all year. I mean, the recruitment in the summer, initially everybody was a bit sceptical about it, but look at it now, and they've done an incredible job, and they're not the kind of team that are going to let the fans down, I don't think. And I mean, I was chatting to someone yesterday about it, and saying if they don't make the playoffs, people are going to be like, oh God, what a disappointing season again for Crawley Town. It's just like, yeah, there will be that initial disappointment,
yeah,
but it's still incredible. Whatever happens now, yeah, it's been an amazing season. And it's all down to Scott Lindsay.
I said to somebody upstairs earlier on today, if they do eventually miss out and finish 8th or 9th or something like that, yes, there'll be that disappointment like you were just saying. But if at 5-3 before the opening game of the season against Bradford here back in August, you'd have said to anybody connected with Crawley, you're going to finish 8th or you're going to finish 9th, people would have gone, really?
Yeah.
You know, what planet are you on, sort of thing. So suddenly to have that expectation, and like you say, all down to Scott, the coaching team, the recruitment they've put in place, and the manager of the season at the end of the year will go to Nigel Clough at Mansfield, or will go to Dave Challoner at Stockport, or Parkinson at Wrexham, or whatever.
Yeah. He just has
Scott
so much
Lindsay
credit.
has so much accolade, and I don't think people completely realise how good a coach he is. And I go back now and I read some of the comments when Scott came on board from Swindon fans who were saying, thanks for taking him off our hands, and thanks for taking this player off our hands, and whatever. They didn't get to see the real Scott, and Scott has already admitted himself to us after games. He's been given more, a bit of a free rein here than he was at Swindon to coach things and manage things the way that he wants to.
Yeah, well, just look at Swindon now. Where are they now?
Yeah.
They were 5th when he left them, weren't they? Yeah. So, yeah, he's just done an incredible job. And like I say, the recruitment, I mean, to take the players he's got, and it's not just the players that were in the starting 11 initially. It's all those players that have been training all year. Joy McKenna is the perfect example, isn't he? He's sort of been training all year, and then suddenly they needed him, and he's been incredible. And it's all down to I think the ethos Scott and his team, Jamie Day, Carl Larriman, Steve Hale, all installed in the players, and it's just so much belief. I mean, I'm excited. I'll be disappointed if I don't get in the playoffs, but yeah, I just want a trip to Wembley.
I'm going to be disappointed. I was going to say I'm going to be disappointed if I don't end up commentating at Wembley towards the back end of May. But we'll get a bit excited. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
We need to rein ourselves in, Gary.
For this afternoon, prediction?
I predicted 2-0. I think to Crawley. I think it'll be quite a comfortable victory. I think.
Okay.
Whether it be sort of 0-0, I think Doncaster will make it tough, as we said, but I think Crawley will get over the line and win 2 or 3-0.
Okay, classic 2-0, goal in each half.
Maybe one towards the end of the first half, and then early in the second half, and then it's just a comfortable see the game out kind of thing.
We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Mark will be keeping things updated. You can catch him on social media. He'll be updating things as and when the team news comes out, which is about 20 minutes away, and obviously there's full match commentary with Tony and myself, if he can drag himself away from his roast beef to join me at about 10-3, 5-3 on iFollow. And if you can't get on there, then make sure you're tuned in to BBC Radio Sussex and BBC Radio Surrey. From 2 o'clock onwards, there'll be team news, there'll be previews, and there'll be updates with me throughout the course of the afternoon. Crawley Town chasing another 3 points to keep themselves cemented in the playoffs. Loads of other League 2 games going on today as well. Tony and I will be keeping across all of those and all the goals that matter throughout the course of the afternoon. But here at the Broadfield Stadium, in an hour and 20 minutes, it is Good Friday action. It is Crawley Town versus Doncaster Rovers.